this is happening, you're seeing just next to us, Chris, they're taking objects out of McCormick and Smicks to try to remove large objects away from the demonstrators. Right. Go ahead, Chris.
Nick, are the cops that are inside the CNN Center the only cops that are there, or are there more cops on the backside of this crowd?
We're giving you a different vantage point, a different perspective. There's a larger police presence, but what has happened here in the last 20 minutes is as the demonstrators were pushed out in front of the big red letters out there in front of CNN Center, pushed into the main intersection, they started to move, sort of down more towards Centennial Olympic Park. They took advantage of police not being in this area. They started to throw rocks at these windows, and it was just before we joined you live on air that this situation unfolded. It is unreal to see this. I know I keep using that word, but you never think something like this is going to happen here. Atlanta has been historically a city that, has held demonstrations, even during the rash of police shooting of African-American men in 2015. This was a city that held large demonstrations, but they were by and large peaceful. This is nothing but.
Now, how long has this been going on, Nick?
They've been here since 3 o'clock this afternoon. We understand it was a smaller crowd which gathered this afternoon, and it was about 7 o'clock that we started to get alerts from our national desk that they were throwing projectiles out in front of CNN Center, doing graffiti. We showed up about a half hour later, and within minutes, things took a turn. Here comes another object being thrown by a demonstrator in a mask. Now more reinforcements being brought in, coming behind our photographer, William Walker. What's going on, Kevin?
So what they're doing is...
They're calling for more shields, guys. Things are getting really bad
so
here, Chris.
Nick, what they're going to do is they're going to create what they call a phalanx, okay? They're going to create an angle of these shields. And what they're going to then have to make a decision to do is to either hold, which is they expect these windows to be broken and people to advance. And this is going to be the line that the officers draw, that you will not come any further than this. The decision that's more complicated for them is whether or not to move forward, because they only have where this white guy with the skateboard is standing. That's the only way out of the building for them. And they will not fit through there.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is a very dangerous thing to do. So they are doing a stand and hold right now. What are you hearing?
Well, it's pretty clear that these officers are nervous. They're seeing this situation de-escalate. They're trying to, as you say, hold this line here. And to the credit of the police officers, so far we have seen them not use much force while they've been having these large objects thrown at them. They are establishing their presence right now. There's no doubt about that, holding this line here, Chris. And, we're watching it happen right in front of us.
Well, they are preparing for what they anticipate to be a rush at the building.
Red beams putting on this individual here in front of you, the man with the skateboard. You've got, weapons pointed at him. This is just so sad to see happen here.
Now, that's what the umbrella is about, is to try to block the officer's vision of what's going on. The question becomes, once this guy with the skateboard succeeds and breaks the window, what does it mean to the crowd? Is that the satisfaction they want, or are they going to try to advance? And God forbid they do, you're going to have a very different situation.
Well, we'll be live right here covering it all, Chris. We're right behind the police line. They're clearly, the officers are outnumbered. Those demonstrators are going back, they're very deep, going back towards Centennial Olympic Park. I feel as though I believe I just heard what I thought was a taser deployed. I don't see anyone, though, that was on the other end of it. We're seeing more shields, more reinforcements come into that line. Police officers telling their colleagues, directing them to where they need more reinforcement. We're seeing now more demonstrators come to the front. They seem like they're antsy, Chris. They seem like they're ready to charge. This is not a good look. This is not a good sign here for these officers on the other side of it. And certainly not for the demonstrators who are coming towards us.
All right, so Nick, let's just go through this one step at a time. First, you and the team have a secondary location for you. If they come through here and the police start going, you have a way to get up the stairs?
We absolutely do. We've managed to put ourselves in a position where, our viewers can see what's going on, though, we know safety, and there's no story worth risking your life over, Chris. We know that. I've got a daughter and a wife I want to get home to tonight.
You got a beautiful family. I see them all the time.
safely
You're a
here.
lucky man. You just make sure that the team has a place to go. You can always report later. And again, this is a tough situation because you have a small opening. And if they break the other window, then you have a bigger opening for the protesters to come in, although that would be a really, really dangerous thing for them to do. And then you also have another option for the officers to try to move the line farther outside CNN. The big question becomes, Nick, do we have any way of knowing what's happening with that crowd outside in terms of policing? Or is this it? Just these cops here? You said there's a larger police presence. Where?
There is a larger police presence, just east of me here, Chris. You have the majority of those officers here. That's where the reinforcements are coming from. The crowd is, we hate to give these estimates because we haven't talked to police, but there was over 1,000 people here, perhaps even closer to 2,000 people here. Officers outnumbered. They did bring in those reinforcements, the SWAT team, members of the bomb squad, state patrol, local police officers, plain clothes. They've given these orders already to these demonstrators to disperse. They were starting to gear up with tear gas masks, ready to deploy tear gas, when all of a sudden these windows started breaking, and those projectiles continued to fly in the direction of the police, Chris. There's another one.
Wow.
Gosh.
So, and just so people understand what's going on, this is a big building, and this is an expansive lobby area. You are not in the newsroom. This is the front of the big
Chris,
corporate complex.
this used to be the world's largest indoor amusement park, the wacky world of Sid and Marty Krofft, before Ted Turner bought this and turned it into what is the Omni Center and then became CNN Center. This used to be the site of an indoor roller coaster. It still has the world's longest freestanding escalator. Thousands of CNN.
Just keep an eye on that situation. Hopefully he just is taking care of a wound, so if he cut himself, he's not going to bleed too much. Good, that's what it seems to be.
Well, they've already lit things on fire so far, Chris. They lit a police car on fire at about 8 o'clock. That was just, still smoldering. They've lit signs on fire. This is a crowd that came to confront police. They're angry. And we can't underscore, on the cursory level, you see the violence that is happening and it unfolding right in front of our cameras. They're here under the premise because a black man was killed by police. They want to hold police accountable. Their message, however, has taken a violent tone here. And we don't hear the mention of George Floyd's name at all. We just see the violence happening here in front of us.
Well, this is a bizarre scene for people who aren't used to this. You have some people are laughing, some people are videotaping.
I just threw something on fire, Chris, a firecracker. I'm on fire. Shit.
Nick, you all right?
You okay? You okay? You okay, guys? You all right? Is everyone okay? You all right, William? Okay, we're okay. Our crew's okay. But I just threw a firecracker in on us. What was that?
Was it like a
Pretty powerful fire.
It might have been a flashbang, Nick.
Pumping a little bit.
It might have been a flashback. They may have gotten their hands on an undetonated flashbang that the police use, which does exactly what you just saw. Everybody's okay?
We don't want to get any closer than here, but can you see what's going on? You pushing on that? Oh, okay. These demonstrators are starting out to make their way back towards the park.
Well,
They're loading. We understand my producer Kevin Conlon says that they're loading tear gas canisters up right now.
but if that's tear gas that's in front of there,
And, security's telling us to move. Chris, I gotta go.
yeah, Nick, if that's tear gas, you're going to want to get away from it because it's going to come up the stairs fast.
We're getting out of here, Chris.
All right, get yourself to a safer
We're getting
location.
out of here. We'll get back to you later. You got it. Thanks, buddy.
All right. So here's what we've been watching.